All right. The reviews are in. Are you ready? Let's check this out.
All right, the premiere for Deadpool and Wolverine was tonight. They've also done separate screenings for press as well, so everybody is tweeting about it. All of the press, all of the people that got to see it at the premiere. At this point, a lot of people have...
Who the hell is that in that leotard? Who is she? That ain't the villain, is it?
Seen the movie and they are sharing their thoughts about it, and it's all incredibly and insanely positive. As we'll get into, a lot of the reviews say that this is the best thing from Marvel since Avengers Endgame, and I think that some people might actually enjoy this more than Avengers Endgame. It just kind of depends on your personal taste. Okay. So let's dive into the first reactions, and there will be no spoilers in this video. These are just reactions, people's initial thoughts, and they're kind of mini reviews of the movie. So let's dive into it. I haven't actually read a lot of these myself, so this should be fun. We first start off with the Hollywood Handle, who says Deadpool and Wolverine is as exciting as you're expecting it to be. It manages to have the same tone as the previous films with super funny jokes and a story that will have you laughing and crying. Hugh Jackman delivers one of his best...
We'll see if it makes me cry. We'll see. Endgame did. We'll see.
Performances as Wolverine, and the film is packed with great surprises that thankfully don't affect the course of the story. Now, one thing that I have noticed with the very few reviews that I have seen so far is that everybody seems to be praising Hugh Jackman. Ryan Reynolds too, of course, but a lot of people say that Hugh was just fantastic in this. The next one is of Matt Neglia of Next Best Picture, who states, Deadpool and Wolverine is the shot in the arm the MCU so desperately needed. Vulgar, violent, scathing, and at times even touching. This R-rated romp holds nothing back, delivering on everything its fans want with maximum effort. It even manages to pay respect to the Fox era's legacy while ushering in a new one for Marvel. It feels damn great to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, and his hilarious banter with the pitch-perfect Ryan Reynolds is the heart of what makes this entertaining film work over its convoluted multiverse plot. Despite the literal and figurative messiness, I had such a gigantic smile on my face the entire time, it didn't matter. One door is closed and many more have now opened, leaving me with a sense of excitement and anticipation I haven't felt from the franchise in a very long time. So this is overall a really great review, but it does sound like there is some messiness to it. But when you're dealing...
And you know, I know what a lot of you are probably thinking. This is coming from all of the quote-unquote shills that also rated The Acolyte as the greatest thing ever. So it's one of those things for you. Because I know some of you out there truly don't trust Disney no matter what. So, but I think that there's an undertone of the fact that most people believe that this is a one-off anyway. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, listen, we know everything else that they put out is garbage right now. However, this truly is the one-off that they really are giving the fans what they want. So that kind of is the feeling we're going to have to see. In my heart of hearts, for some reason, I do feel like this is going to be a good movie. So, but we'll see. You know what I mean? I could be fooled by all the hoopla and the trailers and everyone else and how everyone thinks that this is going to be great. We're going to see, because I got my tickets.
Dealing with the multiverse, some people are bound to get a little confused, especially if it does kind of get...
I'm not, because I've watched everything.
A little messy or a little gray. But it sounds like even with that, it doesn't really take away from how good the movie actually is, which is really great to hear. The next one comes from Joey Magidson of Awards Radar, who states, Deadpool and Wolverine is so much fun. Marvel absolutely threw me a curveball by making this a tribute to the Fox superheroes, but it plays super well. Funny, gory, and massively satisfying. A blast that doesn't overstay its welcome. Well done. This is a pretty interesting reaction / mini review here because they say that it's a tribute to the Fox superheroes. Now, we haven't heard of any official cameos in the movie yet.
So I assume that all the X-Men are there, or at least most.
nothing confirmed. And today, Marvel even stated that they intentionally put out fake leaks, which is kind of crazy, but we kind of expect this from Marvel at this point in time. But we do know that there were going to be some X-Men characters from the previous Fox franchises, and this is basically confirming, yeah, all of those characters that we're kind of expecting to see, we're gonna see a good amount of them. I don't know this yet because I haven't spoken to anybody who's seen the movie yet, but I really hope we see characters like Cyclops, Storm, Beast. I mean, Wolverine literally mentions those 3 characters in the trailers. But another fantastic review. This next one is from Brandon Davis over at comicbook.com. He says, Deadpool and Wolverine is an insane, bombastic Marvel wet dream. Plenty of surprises, but with...
It better be, Brandon.
Epic action, excessive violence, and relentless humor, most of which landed for me. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds over-delivered. It's a lot to process. I had a blast. So a lot to process makes me think, because Kevin Feige was talking about how pretty much things are going to change after Deadpool and Wolverine, and we now begin the mutant era. And of course, this is a giant multiverse film, so it makes me wonder what events go down in this movie that are going to really change the MCU overall, and what that means for the future. Those of us who weren't at the premiere or the screeners will have to find out in a few days. The next one is coming from James Preston Poole, who's a Rotten Tomatoes critic and writes for Discussing Film. He said, Deadpool and Wolverine feels miraculous, a high-energy ode to superhero cinema past that goes beyond nostalgia into kid in a candy store madness. The Ryan Reynolds / Hugh Jackman
And that must mean, in my head, it's meaning tons of fan service. So we're going to get tons of ridiculous crossover type of stuff. Fights and meetings and characters and cameos and variants that is just like, yeah.
Is everything you wanted and more, despite some grating toilet humor. James also said in another tweet, the surprises and legacy, and legacy is in quotes, aspect of Deadpool and...
Can't watch a Deadpool movie without there being toilet humor. Of course there's going to be toilet humor.
Wolverine works so well, I'm honestly stupefied. So again, this is another ode to the Fox franchise. That's what legacy means. So we're going to see a lot of those Fox X-Men characters, it sounds like, which of course is what we expected and what we want, really. And what's interesting is that nobody said that it doesn't work. Nobody said that, oh, the cameos were misplaced or it was too much or fan service. Nobody said that yet. Everybody has said that it absolutely works. This next one is coming from Dan Marcus, who is a writer who states, Deadpool and Wolverine is the best Marvel film in many years. It's funny, violent as hell, and has a really big heart. The scene where Hugh Jackman looks to the camera and says, Logan was never good to begin with, elicited gasps from my audience. Cannot recommend this enough. And this is actually really interesting because we heard Ryan Reynolds say that nobody but Deadpool could break the fourth wall. That is actually...
I was going to say, wouldn't that be a spoiler?
very, very specific rule. We actually heard him say that Hugh Jackman had a lot of ideas for Wolverine to break the fourth wall, but Ryan Reynolds was like, yo, hey, hold on, no, like, it's just Deadpool, it's Deadpool's power, it's not Wolverine's power, like, it's a very specific thing, and there are rules that we follow. So this is...
Now, specifically, is it a power, or is it just his shtick as far as the comic book goes? You get what I'm saying? Like, from what I understand, She-Hulk also breaks the fourth wall, but that's not her power, is it?
It's interesting, one, that he threw a line in from the movie in there, and two, that he actually does say this line to the camera. The next one is coming from the Adam review, who states, Deadpool and Wolverine review, Marvel game changer, epic return. Their chemistry delivers the greatest bromance / buddy cop dynamic in film history. Stunning action and huge loads of gooey fun.
I mean, that's a strong line right there. There's a lot of... We'll see.
Just another sequel. It's the best MCU movie ever. A fitting end setting up what's next. The next one is coming from the account Black Nezzy, who states, Deadpool and Wolverine reaction is an absolute banger and return to form for the MCU. Violent, funny, with an emotional core at the center. So many cameos, Easter eggs, and surprises await everyone who sees it this weekend. Marvel is back, sorta, with this one. So I believe...
Sorta. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Here, the sorta actually refers to kind of a change in what the MCU actually is. Obviously, like we've talked about, this film is going to have big ramifications for the MCU and how we move forward into Secret Wars. I think this is going to just completely change some things for the MCU, which is why...
Wonder if Wolverine gets the kill shot on her. Because she, you know, she's way too powerful for him, so... You know, one way they could do it is while she's distracted doing something, all of a sudden you see the claws pop through her chest. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, she was distracting. He finally got to her type of stuff. We'll see, though.
They say sort of back. Because besides that, everybody just says it's absolutely fantastic. We'll end it with one more from Cinemundo US, who states, "The movie is absolutely perfect. A masterfully crafted action-packed spectacle that exceeds all expectations. It's a return to form for Marvel, filled with surprises. The casting and performances are exceptional, delivering a truly mind-blowing experience."
I hope so.
I mean, I haven't seen anything online yet from anybody stating that the movie is bad or subpar or not as good as they expected it to be. Basically, everything that I've read online, everything that we went over right here, plus a little bit more, says the movie is an absolute home run and is the best thing from Marvel in years. Many people saying that it's the best since Endgame. Some people saying it's better than Endgame. Some saying that it's the best movie of all time from Marvel. And if you are a huge Deadpool fan and you are a huge X-Men fan and a big fan of the previous X-Men films, then yes, this movie might actually be better than Endgame for you, or better than Avengers Infinity War.
It could be. Like I said, I only watch half of Endgame. Whenever I watch it, I start right from when Thor calls his hammers, and that's it. So, well, you know, the fact that with Infinity War, I watch it from beginning to end. It's probably their best movie. We'll see.
Or because I know some people out there think Infinity War is better than Endgame, and there is certainly an argument for that. But bottom line, Deadpool and Wolverine seems to be everything that we want it to be. Possibly even more than that. Now, I'm just super excited. We have, at this point in time, basically 2 more days to wait until we can see the movie. I'm super stoked. Of course, I'll do an out-of-the-theater reaction, and then I'll do a review. And don't forget about the post-credit scenes. Of course, I'll be breaking those down as well. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of those videos.
Alrighty. Get on over to Cosmic Wonder. Subscribe. Tell them Tyrone Magnus sent you. Woo! Woo! I'll be there at Bell's on. 10 million subscribers. Woo!